Hey, welcome to the very first Captain Quisp vlog. I am Sean, otherwise known as Captain Quisp. Just a quick little bit of information about me. I am a blogger for Celebrations magazine. I write about all things Disney there. I also write a blog for Old School Gamer magazine. Neither of them are associated with this, but just thought I would throw that out there. I'll put links down below as well where you can go check out those blogs if you're interested in either of those subjects. This vlog is going to be dedicated to my obsession with pop culture, all things related to pop culture. So comics, video games, toys, Disney stuff, really anything that my sort of bizarre brain wanders along to. So if you can see, I am wearing my Big Al shirt, and that is because today I am going to start with the Country Bears of Walt Disney World. It is one of my favorite Disney attractions. It's the one that we spend probably most of our time at when we go, that and the Haunted Mansion. And I've started collecting a lot of the stuff for it. There's a whole world of collectibles out there related to the Country Bears, including, if you go searching for it, there's a huge world of Country Bear fan fiction, which I did not know, but you can find anything on the internet, so if you Google it, it's out there. The Country Bears, just for a little bit of history, opened up in 1971 in Walt Disney World. They were an opening day attraction, but they actually dated back a little bit before that. They were originally intended to be part of the Mineral King Ski Resort, which was something that Walt Disney had pictured as being a major project. He had fallen in love with skiing and wanted to open a resort in the Mineral King area. The Country Bears were planned as a show for that resort, which never came to fruition. Walt died, and eventually they found their way to Walt Disney World. One of the animators that worked on the Country Bears was named Albertino. Now, if you're a fan of the Country Bears, you probably know Big Al. He's my favorite. He is the one on the shirt here. And I'm going to put a picture of Albertino in here because when you see him, Big Al was actually patterned after Albertino. They look like each other, but one of them is a little hairier. So I'm going to put that picture in right here. The Country Bears, again, opened in 1971 in Walt Disney World. It's still open there. It opened in 1972 in Disneyland, and that closed in 2001, made way for other attractions. It's had a few different incarnations over the years. The original show was a little bit longer than what you can see now in Walt Disney World. There were also some seasonal shows that got introduced for a while. There was the Country Bear Vacation Hoedown and the Country Bear Christmas Special. Those have both gone away, but if you look on YouTube, you can actually find them and give them a watch, and they are a lot of fun. It also opened in Tokyo. It's still open there, and I think it opened in the early 80s, but I don't remember exactly when. The stuff that I want to show you today are some of the collectibles that I have related to the Country Bears, most specifically related to Big Al. He's my favorite. Actually, not to brag, but I did get to meet him, and if you need proof, I'm putting a picture in right here. So that is me and my dear close personal friend, Big Al. Now, Big Al, if you've seen the show, sings the song Blood on the Saddle with a twangy guitar. His voice was actually supplied by a country and western singer named Tex Ritter. Blood on the Saddle was originally a Tex Ritter song. Actually, here is a picture of the album that Tex Ritter originally recorded it on. He changed his voice a little bit for the Country Bear show. Along those lines, the first thing that I wanted to show is I do have this vinyl of the Country Bears. It's the soundtrack to the entire show. This was released in 1972. What's fantastic about this is it's actually got a whole history and stories on the inside of each member of the Country Bears. It's got the original show, so it's a little longer, again, than what you'll see in Walt Disney World today. And the second half of the album is not included in the show at all, and it's just old songs like Bylum Cabbage Down and Polly Wolly Doodle that really have no reason to be on there, except I think they needed to fill the second half of a record. But it is wonderful to listen to if you can get your hands on it. That came out again in 1972, so a year after the original attraction opened, but it is, if you see, a Disneyland record, so 72 is when it would have opened in Disneyland. The year before, when the original attraction opened, they also released this, which is a kid's picture book called Big Albert Moves In. Now, it was a telltale book by Whitman. One interesting thing about this, it tells Big Al's story, but it's the only time that he's ever referred to as Big Albert. All the rest of the time it is Big Al, but it tells the story of how he came to join the Country Bears. And again, this was published in 1971. Back in the 70s, during that original release, they also issued this Big Al mug, and this was one that we actually had to find in special order on eBay. Now, my wife actually grew up with this mug in the house, not this exact one, but her dad loved the Country Bears and had this mug, and so we had to set out to find it. This was a gift that we got. It was special ordered. Another one of the collectibles that we have, and to be honest, I don't know when this was originally issued, but I absolutely love this plush Big Al with the hat and the vest, the rubber face. If you search it online, you can find it listed as just a vintage Big Al, but I've had a hard time finding out when exactly it was initially released. So if you are a Country Bears fan and you have information on that, leave it in the comments. I'd love to know. There are a few things about this that are one of a kind, though, because this was also a gift from my sister, who is an artist and a vlogger as well at Janelle Jex Art. I'll put a link to her vlog below. But when she got this doll, it did not come with Big Al's normal clothes, so she actually made the vest and the hat custom made for him, which I think is pretty stinking awesome. The last item that I had here is actually, it's not a collectible yet, but I think it probably will be soon. You can still get this at the parks, and it is a Country Bears jug that looks like an old, kind of like a moonshiner's jug that you might have seen played in like a jug band. You can get it when you visit Frontierland in Pecos Bills, I believe, and it comes with lemonade in it. And we actually got this while we were visiting during one of the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties, and an amazing cast member named Gabby found out that I was absolutely in love with the Country Bears, and she actually pixie dusted this to me as a special gift. So I got this for free, and I like to brag on Gabby every chance I get when I show this, because she's absolutely one of the best cast members that we've ever encountered while we were going to Walt Disney World. So that was just kind of a little start, give you an idea of some of the things that I want to do with the channel. I'm going to show off collectibles, I can show off places that we go and visit, places like the Toy and Action Figure Museum or the National Video Game Museum, talk about video games that are coming out, new video games, old games, toys and collectibles. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.